guys, appreciate you for joining. I'm actually really excited to share this topic or to share this video. It's over a topic that I find really interesting and really intriguing, and I do hope you guys enjoy it. If you do enjoy this topic and research statement, definitely like, definitely share, definitely subscribe. It's over dissociative identity disorder. The more you guys like and share and subscribe, the more that we'll be able to bring awareness of this topic, to the population, man. And the reason I'm saying that is because, I wasn't even aware of this mental health condition until I met someone who has it. So we're gonna get right into it, man. And this is something that I'm real excited to. I did a research statement and proposition on it. I had to change a shirt. I got a nice green collared shirt on, so I had to come through with the green. That's my new favorite color, and we're gonna get into it, man. Before we do, I got some references. This isn't just my study, from the Cleveland Clinic over in Ohio, and the research and education at the www.mayoclinic.org. You already know the Mayo Clinic be coming in, man. And we're gonna get it going right now, guys. I hope you enjoy this. I do got my laptop in front of me, and I do have some written statements right now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about the purpose of this topic, and we're gonna speak on why we're even going over it in the first place. So the purpose: to bring attention and awareness of mental health, to properly treat and support people with mental health condition, start a plan that allows people with DID disorder to be with the correct psychological treatment, therapy, or proven matching compatible, caring, and loving supporting individuals. A product with projection of individuals' improvement in mental health and behavior traits while in the care of their proper support. So that's the purpose. The purpose is to make sure that this person who has this mental health condition is in a more proper environment and in a proper situation, which allows their growth to continue to go in a more positive direction other than a negative direction. But before I get too far ahead of myself, let's continue with the definition so we can let you guys know what this mental health condition is. So, the definition of dissociative identity disorder, you can also abbreviate it and call it DID, is someone has multiple distinct personalities. The various identities control a person's behavior at different times. This condition can cause memory loss, delusions, or depression. DID is caused by extreme past trauma. Each identity has its own personal history, traits, likes, and dislikes. DID can have gaps in memory, or believing something is real when it isn't. Detachment from your actions, so that could be pretty dangerous. Problems remembering information. DID is extremely rare, affecting just 0.01% of the population. Women are more likely to have DID than men. Alters are what are referred to as the person's many different alternate personalities. Some people with DID have up to 100 alters, man. Identities may even differ in gender, race, interests, and ways of interacting with different environments. So as you guys can see, this mental health condition is pretty extreme. You're probably going to need a lot of patience to, you're really going to have to care for a person who has this mental health condition in order for their life to go down a better route. Let's continue. We're going to go to evaluation and kind of figure out, well, how do we know, how do you go about figuring out if someone has this, right? So evaluation. Diagnostics and statistics of manual mental disorders. Mental health professions will compare symptoms and criteria published by the American Psychiatric Association. Physical and psychiatric exams, which include in-depth questions and reviews of personal history. Individuals' information and traumatic events are too extensive to even be explained by ordinary forgetfulness. Wow. Symptoms are not due to alcohol, drugs, or another underlying medical condition. Symptoms cause significant problems in relationships, work, and important areas in your life. There isn't a single test that can diagnose dissociative identity disorder, and I found that real interesting. So that's kind of it for the evaluation. You're more so it seems you're just gonna have to go to a mental health profession, but let's keep it rolling. All right, now let's talk about experiences. Different behavior and traits is what you're gonna see when you're experiencing a connection and a bonding with this person. Trauma connections, patience and discipline. You need to care. You do need to care. You need to be there for support. And this is a lot of sacrifice, but if you truly love this person, it's not exactly a sacrifice. You need to love this person in order to have them treated or have the correct psychological treatment. You will be guaranteed to see a significant improvement in their behavior and traits. And that is also just coming from my experience. The comparison to when I first met this individual to hours down the road when we continued to get to know each other was a significant improvement in their behavior. And they're not gonna really notice this, and and that's up to you to tell them if you notice or not. I don't really I'm more of a just when it comes to friendships and stuff like that, I just like to enjoy that. So, diagnosis and treatment. Some medications may help with certain symptoms of DID, such as depression or anxiety. Healthcare provider with specialized training in mental health disorders, such as a psychologist or psychiatrist. Some healthcare providers recommend hypnotherapy. That's interesting. There's no cure for DID. So that kind of goes along with the whole, there isn't a single test that can diagnose dissociative identity disorder. People will manage the disorder for the rest of their lives. A strong support system can make living with DID more manageable. Having a loved one with DID can be confusing and overwhelming. Attending counseling support groups. Stay calm and supportive when sudden behavior changes occur. And there are hotline centers to call in case things get out of control. So guys, we're gonna go ahead and run down the summary, and then I'm gonna give my final thoughts in the proposition. All right. Summary. Dissociative identity disorder is a mental health condition in which the person has multiple identities and alters. Their behaviors and identities switch frequently. There isn't a single test that can diagnose DID. You need to love and care for the person in order for them to get treated and cured. So, my final thoughts and proposition, man. And I just kind of want to share some things that I thought was kind of interesting about this. And my reasoning to kind of making a proposition just due to the fact of meeting someone who has this, and just due to the fact that there isn't a single test. And some of those of you who've been through traumatic situations that may not have been aware that dissociative identity disorder was even a mental health condition, and it can definitely vary, especially in between genders. Don't even consider comparing these at all. I did want to put up some video examples, but I just chose not to. Maybe if I wanted to make a part 2. But anyway, here's some thoughts that I thought was pretty interesting. Obviously, the fact that DID affects 0.01% of the population. So these individuals are very unique. They've been through some very unique and traumatizing experiences that cause them to act out on the way they do. Like we said before, man, there's no test to even diagnose it. It cannot be cured. And this is my main reason for making this proposition. I'll get to that here in a second. This person needs to be supported by someone who loves them and has compassion for them. I do not believe people with DID should be in any environment that does not show the individual any caring support due to their mental condition. Mental and detention facilities are much more likely to further damage the individual's future behavior slowly through time compared to being in the hands of their loving support and companion, guaranteed for a more positive way of acting. Proposition includes allowing person with DID disorder to be with a caring, supporting, loving companion or support group system environment compared to mental or detention facility, which will damage health and growth for individuals with disorder over time. If person under DID can be proven to be under care of loving companion at all times and shows significant improvement in health, behavior, and responsibilities, they should be released for a more positive example and healthier route for helping those with mental conditions down the line. The only way this will work is if you care. Guys, I really do appreciate you for taking the time to check out this proposition. It would mean a lot if you liked, if you shared, if you subscribed, and most importantly, if you comment your thoughts on what you think about this. We've all come across individuals, depending on what environment you've been in, man, and we've seen it all through the hospitals, through the mental facilities, and just many different situations and places that people are coming from. And we need to start taking this more seriously, man, especially if this very unique individual has found the correct person to help support them and to help build and grow their future. This should be highly suggested. So this is my proposition on dissociative identity disorder research statement. Like I said before, I really appreciate you guys for joining and thank you for supporting this work, and I'll catch you later.